talked with Mike Tobin, who was working on a script in a news vehicle. Our correspondent Leland Vittert now has another witness to this. Leland, what you got?
Shep, things have gone back to what was normal, this big police line. Go ahead and take a look here. Once again, forming up at Pennsylvania and North, guarding what is the crime scene now. And Tanya saw the whole thing. Tiffany saw the whole thing. I'm going to get Gregory to go back to the Metro PCS store where the police are guarding. So it all started at the Metro PCS, Tiffany.
It actually started maybe a few houses down from that because the boy was sitting on the steps right there by the check cashing.
And what was he doing when he was sitting on the steps?
He was just sitting on the steps. There were some other dudes. They were talking from what I could see, smoking cigarettes, things like that.
Young man?
Yes, young man, maybe like 18, 19.
All right, and what happened?
Well, the police came and pulled up right here in front of Jackson Hewitt. The officer got out the passenger side and proceeded to chase the boy because as soon as he saw the police, he started running.
Was there any words exchanged?
No, the police just got out the car and started chasing the boy. And then he ran down toward the Metro PCS. The officer got in the middle of the street and shot that boy in his back, in my face. That's when,
How close were you when the gunshot happened?
I was right there at the check cashing.
So 20, 30 feet.
Right there. The officer was in the middle of the street. As the boy was running up, he straight boom.
Okay.
And that's
was
when
the boy on the ground,
yes,
or was
he hit the ground face down. Okay, and that's when everybody got upset because you know what we're dealing with right now.
All the residents here.
Yes, everybody that was outside was upset. They started macing the crowd. We had to come this way because they were macing us.
So the police then started spraying the crowd with mace.
Yes, a lot of people got hit. Then you know they told us.
Including you?
Yeah, I got hit in the middle of the street with the mace because as everybody was coming this way, you know, people were being maced. The police were coming down. They were pushing us from over here. You got aggressive officers with their nightsticks out, intimidating, cussing us out, and then they sprayed the crowd while they're cussing us out. You know,
is this when you saw this happen? What was your thought process? Were you scared? Did you think there was going to be more shooting? What did you think?
In my mind, it was here we go again. First thought.
Hey, Leland, if she saw him sitting on the steps there, did she see if he had a weapon?
Now we're about to start all over again from scratch.
And this is an important question that Shepard just brought up. When you saw this young man sitting on the steps, do you have any idea if he had a weapon on him? Did you ever see anything?
No, I sure didn't. Because when that boy got up...
Could you see both of his hands?
Yes. When he got up, I didn't see him throw anything. I saw his arms do like this. In a running motion.
So you never saw a weapon?
All I saw was a police weapon.
Leland, let me end. Commander at the scene now reports that he confirms it was a shooting, that the man had a gun, that police tried to arrest him, that it fell and went off, according to the commander on scene.
It was a one stop, and then you heard the boom, and that boy hit the ground.
There's a commander here at the scene who's just told us that there was the young man who was killed had a weapon. And that he was running with the weapon.
Boy ain't had no weapon, sir. I was right there. He was sitting there with his friends, and the police came up there and killed that boy.
You're sure that you didn't see anything?
No, I did not see a weapon. I saw his hands go in a running motion.
So
he didn't throw anything.
What do you think about the fact that the police are now saying that he had a weapon?
This is what they're going to say.
So you don't believe them?
I don't, not when I sat there and watched it with my own eyes.
And do you think other people around here will believe the police, or are they going to...
No, I'm telling you right now, they don't care about these police.
They don't care what the police say?
They don't care what they say because they lying. They lying. They shot that boy for no
Tiffany,
reason.
I want to ask you this. It's 3:15 right now.
Yes.
We have the police lined up in their riot formations, as you can see, and there's a big crowd gathering.
Yes.
This is ground zero. This is where the CVS burned. Are we going to have a repeat of the kind of violence we had before?
Sir, on my honest opinion, yes, I do think so, because too many people were out here to watch that Caucasian police officer shoot that young black boy. This is the second one. We just came from off of Freddie Gray.
And there's nothing the police can say in your mind that would make it so it was justified?
Nothing. Not when I was standing here, because I was out here for about a half an hour before, this all happened anyway. So there is nothing that they can say in my eyes that would justify.
And the young man wasn't doing anything? He wasn't yelling?
No, like I said, he was sitting there with his friends. They were talking. One had a cigarette, one had a black and mild. They were just sitting there.
Shepard, it's important to understand, obviously, in times like this, that eyewitnesses have a lot of different recollections and a lot of different feelings. And I want to go through it once again with Tiffany. in terms of exactly how close you were, and why all of a sudden did you start paying attention to this?
Well, I know because this is kind of a known area for a lot of different trafficking.
Like what?
I want to say it.
So
okay?
there's a lot of drugs that go on here.
I didn't say drugs. I know that you can get hair from the beauty supply store at the beauty supply store. So there's a lot of traffic because everybody can get a lot of things right here. You know, before CVS was gone, the library. You know,
does it surprise? A lot of police officers tell us that this is a very high drug, high crime area. Is that true, you think?
Sir, this is Baltimore City. What area can you go in Baltimore City that don't have a lot of drugs around it? And let's be completely
all right.
honest.
Well, that's fair. Okay, so you were here, and then all of a sudden you started paying attention. And why do you think the police are saying that he had a gun if you say he didn't?
To cover their own ASS.
Okay, and why don't, Gregory, go ahead and take a look around. Shepard, it seems as though the police have really tried to congregate around and form their own line, a ring, if you will, around where this happened. And it's the same riot line almost that we saw before, right on Pennsylvania Avenue there. The fire trucks are gone, and also the ambulances are gone as well. I'm wondering if you have any more questions for Tiffany.
Well, I actually want to, there's more than one witness here. The police are protecting the crime scene there because that's an ongoing crime scene, I would guess. Somebody's been shot. Our Mike Tobin also witnessed this, and Mike is back with us. Mike, you said, this witness says she saw the boy, as she calls him, and that he took off running and there was no weapon, but you saw a weapon.
Yeah, I saw a weapon on the ground. And, I was in a car with people, and we have security staff while we're covering this story. And one of my security guards says that he saw the guy reaching for the front of his pants, if you will. What I saw is not inconsistent with that. I mean, his arms were toward the front of him. I can't really specifically identify the action as reaching for a weapon that would have been stuffed in the front of his pants. But I definitely saw a gun laying on the sidewalk with an officer standing over. And in fact, if you go back with it, we fed it in a bunch of video to you guys in a big rush. So if you go back through the raw video, the picture of that gun is there. It's a 6-shooter with a long barrel, looks a little old and beat up.
It's on screen right now.
It's laying on the ground underneath the officer, Shep. Yeah, so there's a weapon on the scene.
And I'm guessing that this officer in this, we have taken a frame grab, an officer or somebody, maybe an officer, standing over it. It looks in an effort to keep anybody else from getting. Describe to us why this officer's standing over this weapon.
Well, in essence, to preserve the crime scene, to use a formal term, but they don't want anybody messing with the evidence that's on the scene. Obviously, this is going to be a key piece of evidence. So he's going to stand there and try to keep anyone from picking it up, getting fingerprints, moving it, taking it from the scene. So he just stood there and guarded the crime scene to the extent he could. You're going to have a contaminated crime scene because people rushed up there and they stood around the suspect and or victim who was laying on the ground. And they shouted at the police officer. The police officer, was one police officer on the scene who looked like he was trying to render some sort of aid. Really what it looked like to me is he was just sort of propping his shoulder up, and the guy was kind of half in, half out. He didn't look to be in good shape at all, Shep.
Mercedes Cohen, lawyer on the scene, on set with us now. That gun there, you saw people throwing plastic bottles or something at the officer trying to fend them back. But they'll now test that weapon.
Undoubtedly. They're going to look for those fingerprints. They want to know who was the last person who handled that gun. And presumably it was the kid who the cops shot at. But we really
don't know how old that person is. But we do know Mike Tobin says that, the security guard saw reaching for the weapon. I mean, it's kind of frankly, we're in a very awkward position here.
Sure.
Our people are witness to something. We are speaking live with another witness. And frankly, they're telling two completely different stories, something that is not unusual at all for police officers. The witnesses to one crime, everybody with the presumption of honesty in advance, but you just see different things in the middle of a situation that is outside your norm.
Well, that young woman is looking at it from her prism. Her prism is like the police are the enemy. They're the ones that are attacking us. We're prey to them. Look, they're going to lie about it. This kid didn't have. We don't even know how old he is, but this individual didn't have a gun, and he's running away from the police, and he was shot down by the police. Like, this is her narrative. This is what she truly believes. But here's someone or a colleague who's saying, wait a minute, we saw a gun. Here's a police officer trying to secure the crime scene. So obviously there was a gun in place. There's another witness that's going to say, no, I saw him reaching for his waistband, and presumably it was for that gun. There was a shooting. I mean, all these things will come to bear based on those. You need some independent evidence. fingerprints on that gun can be critical.
Hey, Mike, you said you have some security folks there who saw the reach for the weapon. Did anybody see this or saw the reach for the waistband? Did anybody see this weapon drop, or did you just see it in the street? Because the commander on the scene confirms there was a shooting, that the man had a gun. Police tried to arrest him, and I'm quoting here, "It fell and went off," says the incident commander.
I only counted one gunshot. That's what I heard. And I was inside of a vehicle with the windows rolled up, and also in between me and the action was a row of parked cars. So you had, if you look back at the street, it's hard to tell right now, that's west down North Avenue, and right at the Metro PCS. We were sitting, in fact, you can still see our car now surrounded by police. That's the black SUV. So we're looking across the street, and people were sitting on the stoop, sort of as those people are there. And we saw him kind of flash through the center of the street, run in between the cars. The police officer was in pursuit, and the police officer's weapon came out. I counted one gunshot. I did not hear a secondary gunshot, Shep. So I can't tell you that I heard it anyway.
Yeah. So here's what we have. We have a young woman who says she saw a guy. They keep using the word kid. I have no idea how old this person is. I don't know whether this person is a victim. I don't know whether this person is a suspect. I don't have enough information. So we'll just say the person who was shot. The person who was shot is on a porch hanging out with some friends, according to this first witness. The person starts running up North Avenue, right there in the middle of all of this, is being chased by officers, and as that woman puts it, they just shot him in the street. He fell down. Now, Mike Tobin is in his news car and sees the guy coming up the street, hears one shot, sees the guy fall, sees another gun on scene over which police stand to try to keep it, according to Mike Tobin, from becoming in any way contaminated in the crime scene. And then we have a commander from the police department who says that the person who was doing the running and was shot dropped that weapon. When he dropped that weapon, it went off. That after that, he was shot by a pursuing officer, and that now, under all circumstances, that person has been taken to a hospital. Here we have the day-to-day, every day of your life situation for homicide investigators and beyond, people who are trying to get stories from the public. Baltimore police now. The reports of a man being shot at North and Pennsylvania are not true. Officers have arrested a man for a handgun at the location. Quoting again, the reports of a man being shot at North and Pennsylvania Avenue are not true. Officers have arrested a man for a handgun at the location. Mike Tobin?
Well, I heard one shot go off, Shep. I saw a guy down who looked like he was in bad shape. I could not see a wound. The people on the scene are saying here that he was shot in the back, and that would be consistent with the fact that he was running away from the police officers.
See any blood on the street?
Did I see him get hit? I did not see any blood on the street.
You know what I wonder? What I wonder is if everybody involved here, and no knocks on anybody, this is playing out live in front of us. We can't very well ignore it when it happens when our people are standing right there. But it sounds to me like it's altogether possible that the gun fell, the gun went off. When it did go off, the guy spread eagle on the ground.
Sure.
He's hurt. He's at least fallen on pavement. He needs to go to the hospital. So is it possible that it was his weapon that went off? The police never even fired a shot. That the woman who thought she saw a cop gun a boy down. That Mike Tobin who thought that everybody who was there was wrong about all of it.
Could be, absolutely.
Welcome to witnessing things.
Exactly. But that's what happens, and that's why these jurors sit back and like, what makes the most reasonable sense? What makes the most sense? You are surrounded by all these individuals. You're flanked by officers. No one's going to be executing anyone. No one's going to sit there and say, I'm going to shoot someone down.
Can anybody working on that? They're working on that, obviously.
So, yeah.
Go on. Keep going.
No, I mean, so that's really the bottom line is the jurors are going to, even the investigators are going to shift through this and say, what makes the most reasonable sense? That there was an arrest, that gun was discharged, that individual is down on the ground, he was part of being processed for the arrest. That's the reason why I was there. And this young woman who just was interviewed before by Leland, that's in her mind. She truly believed he was just gunned down. Again,
or the report from Baltimore police, the reports of a man being shot at North and Pennsylvania Avenue are not true. Officers have arrested a man for a handgun at the location. We have a number of people there. I know they're off trying to get information from officers. I've known Mike Tobin a long time. And one thing I assure you is Mike Tobin would never say something that he thinks to be untrue. I've worked with him long enough, worked with all kinds of people. Mike Tobin would never, ever, ever do that. I'd bet my life on it.
Absolutely.
But Mike Tobin, who is a seasoned correspondent who spent many years covering wars in the Middle East and is tough as nails, believes to the core of his being that he witnessed an officer shoot a man and then that man drop his gun, or he would not have reported it on this, I'm certain. That woman who was interviewed a minute ago, I've been interviewing people a long time. You saw how convinced she was. She wasn't a woman spinning a tale.
She was crying. She was literally physically crying. She had a visceral reaction to what she believed she had seen.
And the police are saying, what I believe police are saying is, in fact, I know what they're saying is, that a weapon went off, the one being carried by the person they were pursuing, that when that weapon went off, everybody came to conclusions, but actually what happened is the man who was carrying the weapon went down to the pavement. 10 minutes later, they took that man to the hospital. Right. 10 minutes later, according to the reporting of Mike Tobin, Baltimore police say reports of a man being shot at North and Pennsylvania are not true. Again, this is crossing on national wires right now. The reason they're saying this is because we're alone on this.
Sure.
Our people happened to be right there when this incident, whatever it turns out to be, happened. Leland Vittert is in the crowd now. Leland? Leland Vittert, are you there?
Please give him some space and back up.
I am, Shepard. We're live on television right now. I have an officer saying that no one was shot.
Nobody was shot.
How are you sure about that?
Because we have no shooting victim right now.
So there's no gunshot wounds?
There's no gunshot wounds reported at this time, no.
Okay. Why do witnesses say there was a gunshot wound?
I think it was just a misperception in the community that stemmed out. So, and we will have our PIO piece, talk to you guys and brief you in 1 second. I just want to make sure the community understands because they're upset that nobody was shot. Okay?
Are you worried about how big this crowd's getting?
Stop it.
No, we're not. We're fine.
I didn't mean for that to be on TV.
Right?
Sorry. I just mean come on back to set now. It sounds to me like what's happened is we screwed up. What it sounds like. I can tell you one thing. Mike Tobin would never. I've been through this. Mike Tobin thought he saw somebody get shot, and there was a gun, and there was a patient on a stretcher, and there was a woman who said she saw the cops gun him down, and there's going to be violence and all the rest of that. And what we have is nothing. And the truth is, according to police, there is no gunshot victim. The person who fell in the street there is being taken to hospital because the person, I assume, went down on the street after dropping the weapon. These are not normal environs to most people. Places where there are transactions on the street, as the woman put it. That's not how everybody lives every moment of every day. That's not how Mike Tobin lives, and that's not how Leland Vittert lives, and that's not how our security guard lives. But from everything we've learned from that scene over the past weeks, that's part of life there, and that's part of the problem there. And a bunch of people who were trained at this sort of thing saw it, and it wasn't real. And now something has been created there that is wrong and unnecessary. We were wrong. Our people on scene were wrong. Theirs was an error that was honest and straightforward. And our duty as journalists is not to make mistakes. And when we make mistakes, we are duty bound to correct them immediately and as clearly as possible. So I'm now in correction mode, and we apparently were wrong. Unless there's new information that comes forward, all the information now points to there was a guy running down the street. Guy had a gun, according to police. Gun fell in the street. Gun went off. Guy was taken into custody. He complained that he was injured or something. They put him in an ambulance. And out of an abundance of caution, the police are now telling us they took him to the hospital. Nobody has been shot. No police officer has pulled the trigger. And on behalf of Mike Tobin and the rest of our crew there and the rest of us at Fox News, I am very sorry for the error and glad we were able to correct it quickly. The news continues after this.
shot him.
Cuffs on him. They need to take the fucking cuffs off.
He just shot him, bro.
They shot him.
They shot him in the back, man. Right here. He the cop. He the cop.
You shot my man, yo. I didn't. You shot my man, yo.
Hey, take that shit, yo. Text him, call him, tell him to come back.
Did that shit.
Hey, police just shot someone. They shot this man in the back. Police just shot Baltimore right here, Penn and North. Tweet it out, please. Penn and North, police just shot someone.
It's crazy, yo. Y'all the fucked up, bro. I shot him, yo.
Police just shot someone and they maced someone. Police just shot someone. Police just shot. Baltimore police just shot a man. Baltimore police shot. They shot that man in the back and they're in the cops and they're macing people. And they're macing people. Police, Baltimore police at Penn and North shot a man in the back and they're macing people. Tweet it out. Baltimore police shot a man in the back and they're macing people. Baltimore police shot a man in the back and they're macing people. Tweet it out. Right here at Penn and North, Baltimore police just shot a man in the back.
What happened here, brother?
Baltimore police shot a man in the back and now they're macing people.
Where did they shoot him at?
Right over there.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Clear it up. Let's go. Start moving. Let's go. Start moving. Let's go.
Baltimore police just shot a man in the back and now they're being aggressive and they shot.
Yeah, they being aggressive.
Yeah, they're
they
macing
won't give me
people.
no supervisor, and I'm trying to see. They just shot that boy
They shot a
in my
man
face.
in the back. And
Y'all not gonna get enough. Y'all's not gonna get enough. Y'all ain't gonna get enough. Y'all's not gonna get enough. At all.
Baltimore police just shot a man in the back. And now they're macing people.
Let's go. Move. Let's go. Move. 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 Let's go. Clear it up. Get back. Get back. Out of the street. Out of the street. Out of the street.
Baltimore police just shot a man in the back and now they're macing people. Baltimore police just shot a man in the back on North Avenue near Pennsylvania and now they're macing people. They maced all these people. They just started macing people. They had the man in cuffs. They shot him in the back. And now they're macing people. This is right now at Penn and North at fucking 3 o'clock or whatever in the afternoon. They're just macing people. Baltimore police shot a man in the back, and now they're macing people for no reason. Baltimore police just shot a man in the back on Pennsylvania Avenue, and now they're macing people. Tweet it out. Tell everybody to come to Penn and North now. Come to Penn and North now. Come to Penn and North now. Everybody. Tweet it out. Get Global Rep. Get all the Twitter handles to tweet it out. Come to Penn and North now. Police are macing people. They shot a man in the back. They have the man in handcuffs. And now they're macing people. Look, this guy just used the mace for no reason. Just for standing here. You saw no one provoked that officer right there.
No, he did. He's acting up by himself because he's mad.
And you saw that.
Because you're mad because I watched that man shoot him. I watched it with my eyes. With my own
Officer
eyes.
Herschel.
I seen it with my own eyes.
H-E-R-S-L. Officer Herschel. H-E-R-S-L. His name, Officer Herschel, or whatever the fuck he is.
Ashamed of yourself.
This dude's just using the mace can because people are here talking. Officer Herschel. File a report on that motherfucker. Why are you spraying people? For talking. Everybody, come to Penn and North now. Come to Penn and North now, man. These motherfuckers just shot someone. They put him in cuffs and they started fucking macing people. And now they won't let anyone over there see this person die. This person is dying on the street and they're not letting anyone over there to see. They want to hide it. They want to hide it. We need everybody to come to Penn and North.